as we know, there was a referendum, if I'm not mistaken, while you were governor.
Yes.
And the majority of the people in that time supported statehood.
Yes.
Could you let us know, ever since then, what has happened with that situation? We understood you were standing for statehood.
Yeah.
Are you still supporting that?
Of course.
And could you explain to us a little why?
Sure. If you go to the U.S. Constitution, there are 3 different potential status that are envisioned under the Constitution. And in terms of the relationship between that entity and the federal government, the entity could be an independent republic, or they could be a state of the union, or could be a territory. We are a territory, and as a territory, Congress has the ultimate word on everything if it wishes to. The founding fathers, when they drafted the U.S. Constitution, were thinking of the territories west of the original 13 colonies, that they didn't have enough population, strong enough economy, and they needed some time to organize themselves and grow so that they could eventually aspire to become a state. So territorial status was always meant to be a transitory status. Puerto Rico has been a territory since 1898. So it's been 120 years almost, and Puerto Rico is still a territory. The founding fathers never intended for any territory to remain in a territorial status for 120 years. And on top of that, we are American citizens by birth. So you wonder, and not only American citizens, we have served in every war since the First World War, many times in greater numbers proportionally than the 50 states. So we have earned our place in the fabric that composes our nation. And I believe this is a civil rights issue. It needs to be addressed sooner rather than later. I understand the immediacy of the fiscal crisis that Puerto Rico is facing, and why it needs to be dealt with. But I believe the problem at the end of the day has to do with that uncertainty that is created and different situation that's created by a territorial status, and it needs to be solved sooner rather than later.
And what is stopping more that transition beyond the crisis? Is it political forces in Puerto Rico?
Oh, yes.
Or
in Puerto Rico and in the mainland, okay. Both. The current government in Puerto Rico does not support statehood, rather stay as a territory. And if you have the elected officials of Puerto Rico not supporting the status of statehood, even though it won that vote in 2012, I cannot blame many members of Congress for not wanting to move forward. But the truth of the matter is that the will of the people has been clearly stated, and it should be respected the same way it ought to be respected with any American citizens residing in any of the